Hello! I am going to do a video looking at the game engine that I've created using Unity 3D, and it's a way in which to make adventure games that are a bit like Myst, but not including all the puzzles and everything. But hopefully you'll understand as I go. So first off, now I've been working on a computer game for a while with all the artwork, but I have not been able to bring that and put that together. Now what I'd like to do is put that together, and I've created an engine that hopefully should allow me to do so. So let's first start up. So this is the actual games engine that I've created. So we've got create project. This is still work in progress, so I suspect that it's going to crash at some point or fail to do what I want it to do. Now the game I'm making is called currently work in progress page 1. I'm going to let me make a folder called not my game. Let's call it page 1. Page 1 within page 1. I might as well use 2 words. Page 1. So this is a folder where I'm going to create the files that I need to actually make the game. So I've made a lot of the artwork already. So ultimately the artwork is all in equi-rectangular, which is kind of a panoramic. This creates the actual project. So this is the window that I've created. You can make it full screen. You can make it this size again. You can't really resize it. I'll work on that at some point. So let's hit create project and let's go to page 1. So like so. Select folder, and it's creating the project now. Now what that means is it's copying all the information across that has the video playback engine that I've actually created to create this actual experience. It takes a little while to copy it across. You can see the files appearing there. I have one example room within that. Once it's finished copying across, hopefully it won't take too long. Note while I'm actually doing this project, I am going to be probably pausing it and fixing errors and coming back in again, and you'll just have to accept that because it's all work in progress. So it's creating the folders within here. So should be copying it across. I wonder if that's because of the D drive. While it's doing that, and I might well pause it and try and fix it in a bit, I'll show you some of the artwork that we got. Oh, no, there we go. I need to put some kind of a progress bar on that, don't I? So you can see that it's created within that project files and folders. Now all these you don't really need to know about at the moment, but I will go over some of the artwork. So now we have this. This is our creaty window thing. We've got a project name. I'll change that to page 1. Company. Let's go with Whirligig, which is my the actual company that I'm creating. The game that not the game, the engine that I've created it in. Which, if you do VR, you'll note that that's actually the playback, the player for VR for 360-degree video. So version 1. Now start media is the location it starts in. So at the moment I've got it as boat. Now I don't want it as boat, and probably when I upload this I'll probably stop having that. But let's upload some rooms. I'm going to game, not game. If we're going to comp, so I've been creating these videos. So you can see here we've got videos that I've worked on. Now if I open up one just as an example, which will pop up in VLC, so you can see this here. Now this is a full-on equi-rectangular image. Now I've been drawing these using a few techniques, and this is what I'm getting here. And it's a looping video, so it goes up to 20 seconds, and then loops around. Now I want to start working on this, so I'm going to add this first off. So we click that, It'll ask me to drag and drop. Now, the first room that I've got is garden. I'm going to remove final. I don't think that's probably going to make much sense. So I can drag and drop that in. Copies the media into the folder that is part of your project. As you copy media. Now I'm currently doing this on a USB drive, so it's probably why it's taking longer than it should. But when it gets up and running, there we go. So we've now got garden, we've got boat. So I'm going to go to boat, I'm going to delete that because I've already got a new version of that. So we just got garden. I'm going to drag and drop boat in while we've got a chance. Oh, there's boat. So as you can see, we've dragged these in. We've got a format. We've got a few settings in here. We can load audio, which is a separate OGG file, OGG file. If we want to have a separate audio, we can have the audio from the actual video as well if we wanted. But the video doesn't loop perfectly, so there'll always be a pause after 20 seconds. There won't be the little blank thing. I'll show you that when we can actually run the example. We've got a dot rotation, which is to do with moving forward and backward, and loop. If we wanted to cut screen, we could switch off loop and have it automatically go to a different screen. We don't want that. Stereo. So if you wanted, and you had an equirectangular that was a stereo format over under, you could have it set to stereo, and that would be a stereo format. In this case, I'm not going to have stereo. So what have we got here? Boat, garden. I'm going to add two more. So I'm going to add porch. I'm going to add hallway as well. It's starting to work a bit faster as well. Hallway as well. There we go. So we've now got 3 of our rooms in there. Oh no, 4 I should say. Boat, garden, hallway, porch. And they all lead into each other. I mean, whatever you were deciding to do is entirely up to you. So we go to hotspots. Now, actually, I'm going to quickly talk about images. So if I go to images, now there's lots of default images that are within the actual game creator. So as you can see, we've got all these different actions. We've got an inventory, background, crosshair, help, and new game. So some of these will make more sense when you start looking into it. But I'm going to replace a couple here. So let's have a look in page 1. I've got drawings. I've got default icons. In here we've got pickup and movement. And these are all that I've created myself, and they're all kind of illustrated ones that I've kind of drawn. So you can see pickup one here. I'm going to open that up just to show you what is going on. Maybe open it up in something that doesn't make full screen. It's going to be full screen on the other screen. Maybe not doing that. Tell you what, I won't open it up. I'll just increase the size. So as you can see, it's a PNG image, which means it has an alpha channel. So if you actually saw it in PNG, you can see the alpha channels around. And it represents picking up. So if I click on the pickup icon here, drag it across, it's replaced the pickup. Now that's one thing we've got. We've got move forward, which I want to do here. I've got a forward icon as well. Movement, master. So I'd create a few, move left, move right, which I haven't actually added yet, but it's in there. So 256. These names can be whatever you like. Oh, Photoshop. These names can be whatever you like. Now, when you copy them across, it converts it, changes the names and everything, but ultimately they are whatever you want. Now, why I've called it 256 is because it's 256 pixels by 256 pixels. Now, in the game itself, you want it to be a resolution that is more, but not by much, the maximum resolution that's visible to the game. You can have a look in here if you want. So here, doesn't look like much at the moment. Let me give a solid background. Not black. Oh, no, here we go. So you can see here, I've got footprints off into the distance. Minimise that just in case something else opens. So forward, drag it in, bump. So we've got forward and pick up. So let's go back to the main bulk of the system. Hotspots. So hotspots is the way in which your game is built up. Each of these videos represents a room of some kind. So they are like each individual location. You can, in the editor, you can bounce backwards and forwards however you like. So in my game, my first location is boat. And you can see that that's the first location here. If I actually go back to project, I've got start media as boat. Now what that means is that if anybody playing the game wants to, when they start it up, their first location will be boat. This also represents the new game. So when somebody hits new game, it will be the first place that they go to. So what have we got here? So we've got your panoramic view of your boat. So it will loop round. We've got your house in the distance. It's looping around there as we're watching it. So a glass of wine there just to keep me company. So we've got 10 hotspots. I'll explain what hotspots are as we go. And we have a way in which to connect these. So in this little box here, we have overlays, different types of overlay. So first one, we'll go through these individually. So first one, if I load this, now I'm not going to hit load because I'm not actually going to do a load for this, but this loads an overlay for the whole thing. It's a PNG. And what will happen is that when you hover over a certain section, it'll actually reveal this whole background. So I'm actually going to do a cursor icon rather than an overlay. So if I click cursor icons, you can see we've got the new cursor icons we've got there. So I'm going to pick that one. And that there is my walk cursor icon. Now in here, we have a representation of our cursor. So if I go here, increase the size here, and put it over the house, like so, this represents the hotspot which you can actually hover over to actually make that visible and activate the cursor icon. Now I'm going to hit non-VR and hopefully demonstrate it. I've got two screens here at the moment, so it might well open up on my other screen, or it might not open up at all. Let's have a look. I think that's opening up. Let's assume it's not opening up. I'm going to go to the actual location itself. Like I say, this is all still work in progress. There's going to be little bugs like this throughout. Get over it. So what was it? Page 1, project. Like I say, this is the actual project file for the game. Now, when you're supposed to hit non-VR, it should open up that file. It's not doing that. Let me see if it works in another one. It works in another one. Mustn't have connected that button. I'll check that next time I see it. So here we go. So game is running as if somebody was going to play the game. Loading up as you would expect. This might take a little longer than it would on another system, partly because I'm recording and I've got another project open which is using up stuff. Here we go. And here we are. Okay. So got a big white thing there. I don't know what's going on there. What is going on there? That's very strange. Oh, okay. I think. Now, something to mention is that I have a VR headset. Now, I got a feeling the VR headset is causing an issue. And this is intended to be non-VR. That's definitely... okay. Again, something else. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to create so what errors have we got so far? Hotspots, non-VR didn't open. And weird white thing in game. Okay. I always get the I and the E the wrong way around. I before E except after C, unless it's weird. So, it still allows me to demonstrate what's going on. What I might do is I might turn on my VR headset just to clarify that. But here is our game as it's running. And you can see there, as we pass over, this feels like it's not actually running the non-VR version. Interesting. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to pause. I'm going to do it on the fly. Sing into my world now. I publish Whirligig on Steam, so if you do own Whirligig, you're getting a little bit of extra information. This, you see this here, so it's in projects, one projects. This folder here contains all the work files of the game, everything that is required to run the game. Everything that actually is required is in this production folder here. Now, here is the actual Whirligig player. One of the things that we have in Whirligig is a way in which to run it with disabled VR. Now, I've only just added it on here, the non-VR, so maybe that's not connecting correctly. So I'm going to run the thing with the automatic non-VR connected, and let's see if it looks any different. Oh, there you go, immediately a difference. So, as you can see, we've got clarifying here, like so. So as we hover over there, there should be an actual little area that kind of highlights that. And sod it, we'll add that to the list of things that I need to fix. A lot of these things, where are we? A lot of these things I'll be fixing over time. And hopefully if anybody uses it, you can tell me what they are. So, okay, so I've been working on this in different ways, mostly in Unity. So this is the first attempts that I had to actually give it to other people. But generally speaking, we do have an actual working model here. So as you can see, over that hotspot that I created, it will reveal that icon. Now, at the moment, you can see that we've got the footsteps. Now, those footsteps don't do anything. But why don't they do anything? I hear you cry. I'm assuming you're crying that. Well, the reason is because this link media doesn't have any connection. So at the moment we've got the cursor icon, we have the actual link media, we have enter text, which is the name of the link. Now that only refers to something later on, which will be a different tutorial. And we have the type of link media that we have. Now at the moment it's set to none, which means that if we highlight it, nothing will happen. We click through. If we connect to door, now what that means is that this can be an actual hotspot that links to another piece of media. So what do we want to link to? So we're going to link to garden. Now, if we were doing a stereo, we could have a over-under stereo to add that, but we're not. So it's going to be garden, and that should take us through to the garden. So if we go to garden, it should take us through to this. So that icon that transfers us, or door, take us to the garden. So now we're going to race at this. So let's quickly check to see whether or not it's worked. So non-VR. That's my store. Let's try this again. Not that. That's not even a file. Non-VR. I'll relink that in the bottom. Don't you worry. Close that down while we have it. So things that I'll improve over time. Now what we have here is we've got a few things running at the same time here, so we're probably getting lags on certain things. So this should just open up like any other Unity program. It's taking its time, which is unfortunate, but I think it's because we've got this playing back a video, and we've got OBS recording a video, and it's not happy with all those things happening at the same time. In fact, it might have decided to crash on me. Oh, no. Something's not crashing. Yeah, so there we go. Okay, so we've got that there. It's going to take us through. I'm going to click there. And you can see we've actually moved to the second window. Like so. Now, nothing's been set in here. So, let's go as fast as we can over the next few scenarios. So back to hotspots. Okay, so we've decided we've got that right. So let's go garden. I want to create 2 hotspots with 2 movements. That's going to take us through door. It's going to take us through to the porch. Second hotspot. Cursor. It won't become available to actually create until we've got that within there. And that takes us to that. And it takes us through to the boat. Let's go to the porch. So the porch should take us through the hallway. So, dunk. Open that up. It's a door. Take us through to a hallway. Dump. Open it up. I'm going to have it much larger, I think. There you go. So that should mirror over to here. It's a full 360. Can't really do it on 2D, but get the idea. Door goes through to garden. That's with the previous one. Hallway. We're at the hallway here. Let's go for its porch. I've decided to do that before doing the cursor icon. Do the cursor icon now. Porch. There you go. That should take us through. It needs to be set to door. None will do nothing at the moment. Don't know why I've got that there, because you could just have it set to that. I'll decide whether I need to change that or not in the future. So, what have we got there? We've got 4 different locations. They should all be set now. I'll do that there. Let me go to that so it's not running a video constantly. And let's run the actual app. As I say, these things are going to change as we go along. Some of the issues we're going to have probably won't exist. And flick through to here. Just to clarify, the actual last media that you're on is the one that you're seeing, because it actually kind of writes that as we're going along. So, in here, we're now in the hallway. Walking, taking us through to that. And it takes us through the porch. And look at that. Go forward. Takes us through to that. The boat. It's not connected properly. That should take us back to the porch. To the boat. So okay. Why is that not taking us back to the boat? Let's quit. Find out. We're in a garden here. Set to none. Door. There we go. Oh, I don't know why I've even got none. I'll work that out. So that should take us back. And we'll run it again. Change that. Something to note. So what have we got here? Dink takes us there. Dink takes us there. Dink takes us there. So you can see there that it disappears and reappears. It should be slower, probably, when we're highlighting over the top of something. Like so. So we're actually creating, currently, we're creating our own little environment. Now the thing is that I can hear you crying out loud now, saying, well, this is not an adventure game. There's no other options that you would normally have. Well, there are, but we actually aren't demonstrating that in this video, but I'll give you a couple of examples. So on the mouse, we actually have an ability to bring up an inventory. As you can see, that's the inventory there. Oh, so that I think is to do with the lack of crosshair that I've got at the moment. So that brings up an inventory, so we got that there. And that brings up the new game and save, which is this here. Oh, so to delete that. So both of these don't look quite right. So let me just add that as a note. Save. Look. Right. Change that to D. So you can see it brings this up here. Maybe it needs to be a bit larger. Maybe that's the reason behind it. But we've got save slots here. And we can save, load and delete. And we've got new game here. Now new game is related to the actual the location here, boat. So when we open the new game, it will take us back to there and it will remove anything we've got in inventory or all that sort of thing. So if I double click on there, it takes us back here and we've still got that weird square, which I'll fix probably tonight. So that shows us the new game there. Now saving, that saves our location. So if I hit save there, there's a little image to show us what the save is. Bring it up larger. And we can delete that save. Double click on it, it will also save it. Delete. Oh, that saves it again. Oh, I'm hitting save. We hit load, it loads it. Just as an example. There we go. Oh, it's not a great example, is it? Like so. So they do what we expect them to do. It's quit, and it quits. So that's what you kind of got with that. And that allows you to continue to create your world in which you're living in. So here, I'm going to continue making this, and this is actually going to be building up on my actual original concept. So I'm going to add some more, just as an example. So was it page 1? What have we got? Comp. So these are videos that I've created as we've been going along. So these are videos that have created a loop. They represent the rooms that I have. Oh, a glass of wine. They represent the rooms that I have that I've drawn out. These are a small selection. These are the downstairs. I'm basically trying to create a downstairs. So we can drag and drop the media. What have we got? Let's go for, it's the living room, isn't it? Let's stick the living room in. Now I've built this within Unity. So this is a video player that I've built to create an actual game creation tool within a game creation tool. You're mad, I can hear you also crying a lot at me. But hopefully it allows for easier creation of the game that I actually want to make. Ultimately, this is something that I'm looking towards making, but I wanted to create something that would allow other people to view it as well. So we've created that there. So you've created a room there, and maybe, no. So we've got the room working there. So let me go back to hotspots. It's my living room. Go back to hallway. There was only one way out of the hallway before. No, we don't want that. So I'm going to go for that. Creates a door through. And then that will take me through to the living room, and living room will take me, oh, that's porch. Living room will take me back again. That's the area back. Now, something to note. So the way this works is that imagine that your scenario that you've got, all your rectangular are facing south to north. So the middle is north. So in this case, north is there. In fact, what I'll do is, I do have an idea that I can do here. Actually, I'll do this as an example, even though I haven't quite finished it yet, but I'll do it as an example. So I'm going to add another media. Let me go. Dunk. Another 2, in fact. I'm going to dining room. And dining room 2. That's how quickly I can work my way through this. So let's go back to living room. We got walking. Let's send me back to hallway. I want that one there. Actually, I've still got that set to none. Actually, and cursor walking. You're thinking that there'd be an easier way to do this, maybe drag and drop and stuff like that. You're right. Everything that I'm doing is a learning process, and this was the easiest way to do it at the beginning. I'd love to do it a different way. I'd love to be able to drag and then drag, but can't do everything, and you have to keep going forward. So that's taken us through to that. That's a door. Is it 1 or 2? So 1 takes us through to this. Let's keep going. And then that links to the living room. It's a door. This one's a weird one. We're halfway through, so it's the largest right in front of us. And that's the door, and that takes us through to living room 1. That should be that. Living room 1. Let's make sure we got a way out. So that. Maybe a bit large for that. Maybe not. Yeah. Okay, so that. It's a door that takes us through to 2. Yeah, that should create those sections. We've got this dresser here. Now I want to highlight a couple of things. So we've got comp here. Now I don't think I've got the Welsh dresser in the comp. I've got the Welsh dresser. Oh, I have got the Welsh dresser in the Welsh dresser in the comp. So this is the Welsh dresser. So as you can see, this is the Welsh dresser here. So that I want to add as a media. This will be the last thing I add for this demonstration. So we drop that in there. So what? Why is this cut in half? You're asking that, and you're asking a few other things as well. But why is this cut in half is one of them. So if I go back to hotspots, this might make things a little easier. So we go to 2. No, not 2. Go to 1. Now you see here, now this here is straight on. Right, this is to one side and this is behind. Now this here should be on one side. It should be on this side. Might actually have got this wrong, but ultimately, because this is north, this should be on the right hand side. So when we look at it that way. So I want to create another one here. Go to cursor. I have to point out I have never added all these together. So God knows if this works. And if it doesn't, I'll have to go in and change it. Which is fine. That's what it's all about, isn't it, really, when you think about it? So that's the door, takes us to Welsh dresser. Let's go to the Welsh dresser. Now, the Welsh dresser doesn't have any link clicks or anything like that. I don't actually put anything in the actual drawer yet. Probably should do, but I haven't put anything in the drawer yet. But in this case, everything should click backwards. Now I have backward here. I've not got anything but backward. I can create an icon for that at some point. But I want this to be full cover. So I'm going to click full cover. And what that means is that everything on that screen will be backward. What that means is that when that clicks backwards, that will link back to 1. I think 1. Let me check that. Yeah. So when we're over that, it will link back to 1, and that will take us back to 1. So what that means is that's on top of everything. So anything afterwards, it will appear above that, but everything around it should appear back. So let's have a play. And got page 1. Because that little non-VR thing didn't work, we're going to do it this way. Non-VR. I'll put that in that folder. Okay, so we're actually already in this environment. I'm not going to leave us in this environment. I want to demonstrate it a little bit easier. Moving it into where I like. Okay, so let's walk back. So as you can see, everything's moving along. A little fireplace there. Let's see, okay, we're in. We're going there. And I've created assets for all these different things, so you'll be able to look at them. So moving here, let's go forward. Now, it's got forward there. Maybe I want that differently. See, the full thing. Everything says backwards at the moment, so I can look in the drawer and go backwards, and it should take me backwards. It hasn't taken me backwards. Why hasn't it taken me backwards? Because it's set to none. Ha! So that's now set to door. I'm going to get rid of that none. That makes no sense. And what else did I not like? If I go to 1, I personally think that should be look at. Now I have created something for the look at, but I haven't done it yet. I'm going to go to that, but I'm going to change the icon to look at. And when I change that in here, it'll automatically change against everything. So let's have a quick look at that. So we're looking around here. Let me go back. It says look at. Go forward to look at. It should be slightly round, shouldn't it? We can fix that. So it says backwards. Fingers crossed. It does take you back. Excellent. And we need to rotate that round. I was right. It's too far round. Let me just identify that. I'll show you what I mean. So we've got it cut in half here. It should actually just be in that little section there. So we'll have to re-render that and replace that. And I'll do that as soon as I can. Right, so that's kind of the general principle of things. I'm going to close this down here. I'm going to quickly go over a few other things just before I finish this video, which should probably be going on longer than I expect. So, first off, here we are. I think everything here was self-explanatory. Here, most things are self-explanatory. You can create a project. Build project takes all of these files, puts it in the folder you expect, gives you a few extra options. You can build your own, including your own building tools. It's totally allows you to publish your own stuff. Right, hotspots, images. I'll go to images. Allows you to change all of the standard options. Crosshairs more related to VR. Image inventory backgrounds. You can change the background. Help. There's a help menu that will appear, and the new game you can make your own little thing. Hotspots is where all the action happens. So as you can see, walking around was pretty straightforward. Now, something else that we have here, you can see we've got a key, lock and switch. Now, in an adventure game of any kind, you'd expect to be able to pick up stuff inventory-wise and be able to use that inventory on other things. What I have got here is you can pick up things using a key, and you can drop it, you can use it with something called a lock. Now, I can't demonstrate this yet because I haven't got to a point in the video that allows me to do that, but I will get there as we go along. Once you click on here, you can upload a key, and then it will be something that can appear in your icon. This has the same mentality here as you've got your load overlay and cursor icon. Once you pick up a key, these things stop being active, and when you use a key with a lock, it creates the variable, which is the name, and these variables then do something to whatever hotspots that you have. Now, that is a very brief overview of what is actually working here. Now, in truth, that is much more complicated than I've made it clear, but I will demonstrate that over a couple of other tutorials that I'll do in the future, especially when I get to those areas in the game that I'm working on. I hope this seems something that you might want to use, and maybe if you don't, I don't know, I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. It's passing the time. I look forward to hearing any comments and feedback, and I hope you actually get to play the game that I'm working on eventually. And that's it, really. Everything else we'll just keep working on through. I'll fix these before you probably download it, so don't worry. And until then, goodbye and good luck and salute and all the other things. Until next time, until we meet again. Auf Wiedersehen.